I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey, and this is the grand final of the World Team Carcassonne Online Championship 2024, where three times world champion Japan will be taken against the first time ever finalist Team France. And with me to bring you the action is your favorite special guest, whom you've seen many times, the 2019 World Champion, 2022 Mind Sports Olympiad Grand Prix champion, former captain of Team Romania, Marian Curcan, also known as Mars 15 on Board Game Arena. Hi, Marian.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the grand final.
So I see y'all are here already early. Hi Ivan, hi Nico, hi Devaka. Just as I was about to ask who you're rooting for, I see already some people rooting for France and some people rooting for Japan. It is where we would expect maybe split sympathies. Are you rooting for any particular team, Marian, or you gonna pretend you're neutral?
Well, it's hard to say. I think I'll be neutral. I mean, I have strong reasons to root for Japan and also for France. So just I want to enjoy a good quality final.
Yes, correct answer. Very diplomatic. Actually, I feel the same way. So the benefits of France winning, that would be somebody who actually won it the first time, somebody who had growth in their team, because France consistently performed better year after year after year. So I remember 2020 one, they busted out quite early in the group stage, and then 2022 they put together a respectable team, and 2023 they actually managed to even win over Germany, the former European Championship, in the round of 12, and even advanced to the quarterfinals. And now finally they advanced to the finals as well. Japan doesn't need that much introduction. They obviously won the first three installments, and the one year where they didn't win, where they busted out in the quarters, I believe that was against Team China. And obviously Team China went on to win that year. So this time players have had the teams have had quite interesting playoff journeys. If we have a look at France, first of all, quite confidently defeating Colombia. Then this was almost an upset that France would win against Portugal with its pedigree, also with that was considerable resistance actually in that match. Then a narrow win against United Kingdom. This was the key for the entire playoff chances, because there was even a moment where Vivian Charlot, that's the player with the screen name Viv, France's strongest player, lost their first game against Wallace Prime. And so Chris was very close to the upset, and I think on the verge of an upset. I think they even had some sort of winning tile run out, which actually was quite probable, which didn't come to be. And now France will be playing against Japan. Japan has had not the easiest of playoffs as well, so quite a close match against Chile, which came down to the wire. Mexico against Japan was more convincing for Japan, and Japan versus Hungary, that was the machine was completely oiled. And now I would say that Japan has put out probably their strongest lineup that they can conceivably get. So you can see on the screen they have four out of the five players are masters, or at least have been masters. That should Pyro, Keither, and Setsu Gento. Ezita Kuto Trap on table 3, that's the one expert player with an even rating of 500. And so they're playing against Blitz, quite an experienced French player. And I think here, at least rating-wise, the France would be the favorite here. But on other tables, I'm not so sure. So first of all, table 1 should against 1-3 with a neat rating of 555. Obviously a lot of growth for that player as well. But should is very experienced. I would expect that he would be the favorites in their duel. Table number 2, Pyro versus Leash. Pyro, I think, has recently even been the top 1 player rating wise, or at least they have certainly been in the upper 700s. Certainly a a very strong player, currently a master, and they're playing against La Ush, who again has a creative play, has strong showing, has interesting farmer game, as we can see in as we saw in the semifinals against the UK. But here probably the experience certainly will be on Pyro's side. Now table 3 we covered, and now finally table 4. That's the one that we're going to start with. So between one of the star players, Kithra, formerly a winner of the arena and was in the lower 800s rated, and just generally, I would probably say Japan's strongest player on Japan's roster when they are in shape. And this interesting thing about Kithra is about compared to other players, they're ones who heavily prioritize online Carcassonne versus live Carcassonne. I'm not even sure that they actually participate in Japan's national championship, but if they do, they're doing so in a different name. So it's also a very different school of thought. And Squalus, now rated around 601, but France's captain, very strong, solid player, will try to give Kithra a fight. And now on table 5, as we see, actually, Viv is not particularly nervous about the tournament. He has over 10,000 games of Carcassonne behind his belt, so he just casually playing Splendor right now to prepare for this game. So normally he would be the favorite, but you see that Setsugendo, that's Kaimi Chishida, that's actually the reigning national champion of Japan, who participated in the World Carcassonne Championship in person as well. They're a very interesting player, and I would say that it's an even matchup, and I would maybe even bet on Setsuginto there. They have a very interesting field vision, and I'm not sure if Viv has done his homework and actually studied to adjust to his style. And of course, with Setsugento, for me, it's a bit personal, because he happens to be the first master whom I ever encountered on Board Game Arena. I just joined in 2021, and I remember creating a game of experts and above, and that intimidating feeling that there's somebody approaching rated like 774, and that's a thing. Now I'm gotta treat this serious, and then you sort of start really thinking about your moves. But that was 3 years ago. We don't know in what shape they are right now. Hi, Joseph. Oh, no blunders today. I am not sure if we can make that happen, but let's see. And hi, Steve. So, Marian, would you agree with my assessments with the tables, or do you expect maybe some surprises?
Well, no, I agree. I want to mention that both teams showed resilience after losing their first match in the group stage. I remember France lost 5-0 and Japan 4-1. So yeah, after that, both teams recovered pretty well, and France managed to win, I think, 10-0 against Vietnam. And yeah, they both managed to qualify, and the first cold shower in the group stage
Right. Yeah. So
helped
France
helped
lost
them.
against China, as we can see. Yeah. Yeah, the first cold shower in the group stage certainly helped them. What about Japan? Who did Japan lose to? Oh, yes, Japan lost to Poland. So interesting, like all the China and Poland certainly were one of the world title contenders. Just they were busted out. Hi, Andy. So, is anybody starting their game? I don't think anybody's starting their game yet. Maybe it's time to... Oh, there we go. We have a preference for France. Salut l'autre. If France were to win, this would be the only the first time ever when the World Cup would leave Asia. A reminder that only China and Japan have won this. Oh yeah, so I was going to say, but like there is something there's reasons to root for Japan as well, because like if Japan happens to win for the fourth time in a row, like this really would prove to you that Carcassonne is not a luck game, or at least like that luck is not the primary component, like with that level of consistency.
Yes, and if you look at the VIV's win rate, I think it was 84 or something. So I think that around that, it's the percentage of skill involved, you know. So only 15% is luck, if you want, in Carcassonne.
Well, I would hope to say even. Wait, did you say 50 or 15?
15. I was talking about Viv's win rate
Oh,
because
right, yeah.
yeah, he played very consistently.
Right. Well, I mean, the win rate is also quite deceptive because it also depends on who you're playing. Because I know,
Oh
like, for
yes,
example,
of
like
course.
Pinjatron, Takafumi Mochizuki, like, considered arguably, or at least for a long time, the best player in the world. I mean, his win rate is, like, not even in the 70s, I think. Just because he plays against other strong players all the time.
Yeah, yeah. But at this level, you cannot. I mean, okay, it's gonna be some coin flips, but yeah, it's part of the game. So at some point up, we cannot speak about luck anymore. It's about creating opportunities and paying off or not.
Yep. Hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting the way this works. I'm gonna have to look for Keithra again. So I hope that they started now. And no, they have not. This is interesting. We're already 1 minute past. Uh, Hi Ramses. Thank you for congratulating all the fathers. I actually wasn't uh, aware that it's Father's Day in Cuba. Alrighty, we have started.
Okay, let's go.
So Squalus playing with the red meeples, and now in there to go first, they drew the best style to
Yeah.
start in Carcassonne with a giraffe's neck with a shield, starting a city on it. Keither with a standard response, trying to bother that city a little bit, but Squalus gets the first city cap, and for an early read with 10 points, and also Meeple the Swan Point Road. What do you think of the Swan Point Road, Meeple, Maria? I'm a bit surprised, if I'm completely honest.
Yes, it's surprising, but I think it's okay. It's okay. It's controlling the city and yeah, why not scoring some points? Yeah, I think he got very excited about closing that 8-point city very fast.
Yes, but that's interesting that he played this road meeple with no hesitation. So this means that it's something that he habitually does, and actually not many players meeple these 1 point insurance roads. So I think the main idea is to prevent your opponent from drawing a Dorito tile, and then just making sure that they can't start an easy loop. But the thing with with roads like these is, if you're gonna make moves like these for marginal value, then you better follow up them properly, because this is like, by finishing this road, by completing this road on their other side, what Squalus is doing there are essentially preventing any expansion potential for their roads in case this square gets blocked. And now, if this square gets blocked, then they're gonna get stuck with these 2 points, and this black meeple is gonna have, I don't know, 10 points or as many points as possible. So it will be red who will actually be losing in this situation. And also interesting that 2 of the horse tiles have gone out. And Keithler actually, if Keithler draws the third horse tile, he could go over here and make sure that nothing fits into this square, block this city, and also block this lone 2-point road.
Yes, and also he could have started a block right away, you know, putting this shielded city tile next to the red knight.
Yep, like
And
this. So on the
yes,
last move,
and
yep.
yeah, And if Scarlett would have drawn the last big city with road tile, he would have been forced to join the city, the big city. So I think that was the right move, but yeah, let's see. Perhaps Kessler wanted to contribute also to his road.
Yeah, so this is interesting. Yeah, so obviously I think Keither definitely had in mind. I was actually a bit surprised because knowing Keither's style, I think he would have done exactly the same move that you're suggesting, and I even might have done this move. But look at this, Squall somehow managed to wiggle out, and in all likelihood he is going to have a 4-point road. He's going to have a city up top. Then he's going to maybe invade the city and share all these beautiful 3 shields with Keither. But in the meantime, the Japanese player with his signature black meeples actually drew something that's going to give him the advantage. 2 back-to-back monastery in excellent position. The upper monastery is controlling red city, and the downward monastery happens to be an extension of black's road. So I really like the efficient use of this tile and efficient use of this tile that provide this what's going to be a 6-point road, some nice road end without devoting a move to that purpose only.
Yeah, I think now Scarlett is thinking if it's worth to attack the black city, because that would create another attacking spot, and even yeah, contributed to a bigger city.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tricky.
It doesn't look like a great tile to do that, especially because you're leaving an empty city cap. So the move that Marian's suggesting is like this, hoping to attack over here. It would also leave an empty city cap, and it would also make this attacking spot. And I was going to say that Keither could have actually covered up his city with this city cap. He could have actually gone over here, but he decided not to do that. He decided to go for the immediate attack. And Asqualis played the move which I think I would have played, just starting a city up top and then hoping to complete the upper city with another city cap. Worst case scenario, if for example Keither will gonna draw a road tile, this square will get blocked, so red city will be blocked, but so will black's monastery. And even now it doesn't happen, so his plan now completely works. He's now 1 tile away from finishing his city, and Keither now needs to think hard what to do with this tile. So it looks like a perfect blocking tile, and indeed he starts to go attack Squalis' city, but it doesn't work, as immediately the starting tile goes Squalis' way, and with 14 points added to his scoreboard, he's going to be quite happy about the development in this game. There was alternative move that Keither could have played, was going over here and trying to attack this square, but well, who could have known, who could have guessed? Squalis with a straight line now can do some sort of blocking move, either start to block this city, maybe one of these sensitive squares, or what I actually prefer more is maybe block this monastery, because if you place this tile over here, then Keither will first need to draw a curve to finish both of these monasteries before Keither can finish this road. Yes. And also what black has is kind of 2 dangerous monastery spots over here and over here. So if black draws 2 monasteries, 4 of which are still in the deck, and meeples them on the squares, then black is going to have the advantage again. But the French player prioritizes not in the same as I would. They choose to block the city, which is also another threat. Keither now with a crossroad tile presumably will go over here, or they might go over here or over here to take 2 points and save the city. So what would you do with this crossroads, Marian?
Yeah, I would free the meeple, the road meeple. So scoring yeah, 4 points, 2 plus 2. Yeah, exactly. And I think Scholars could have placing a backup farmer on the left side, because this field looks quite promising. So it will have 5-6 cities
Actually, yes, I agree with you, Mariam, because it already has three cities. It has two cities which are about to get completed, but most important, strategically, this is typically the thing that you do. If your opponent has the monasteries, then you normally want to clinch the fields and use your temporary meeple advantage, because if they finish the monasteries and get their meeples back, you don't want to be in an equal position in other aspects of the game. You want to be in better than equal position in other aspects of the game. So, yeah, that move over here with a farmer, I think, would have worked a little bit better. But I mean, it's a completely understandable move too. So prioritization, that's what really makes true skill in Carcassonne. But look at this, there are further consequences to this move. So Kiefer now managed to draw a curve and finish their 9-point monastery. They're now completely even on the scoreboard. So red doesn't even have the advantage anymore. But imagine this, had Squalus placed this tile over here, then Kiefer on this move would use this curve over here, and actually on the previous move they would not have finished their road yet. And because Kiefer would have used this curve over here, this square would be unoccupied, so Squalus could have used this triangle to continue his own city. So there's so much loss in this, I think. Well, there's so much loss in the type of prioritization that happened. And look at this, Kithara now wants to finish the city as Qualis decided to start a blocking attack up top, which I think is a bit of a waste of a shielded tile. And then Kithara immediately defends. And I know his approach to the game is very probabilistic. I know that he knows that there's only a 50% chance of him ever drawing this tile that fits into this square. Because there's only one of them remaining. But it's all about that threat. Like the looming threat of there always being one tile which basically loses you the game on the spot for red. It's something that will require to have him a lot of energy. And even if he doesn't do nothing about this, so the way several Japanese players, and Kithara included, approach the game is probabilistic. It's not that they score points, it's that throughout their game they try to increase their win percentage. And so now he wins most of the time where he draws that particular tile. But if he doesn't draw that tile, he might create other threats which would increase his win percentage in other ways. As you can see, Squalus is just desperately trying to block and spending a lot of moves on that, and with that the play with the black meeples has the advantage again.
Yes, also with the triangle, scholars could have attacking the black city, you know, just as a defensive move if you want, because the missing dagger in that city is for scholars, right? He wants to put it there, so yeah, I think he could afford spending a meeple for only 4 points, but just preventing total damage.
I think so, yeah. And also, like, okay, you spend the meeple for 4 points, and then you just use one of the two remaining daggers to bail yourself out for here. And even if you draw this tile at some point, then it's good for you because you get to score 2 points, and you get to finish a shared city, and thus add 3 points to your field. So, yeah, I do think it's a bit of a questionable sequence over here by Squalus, but this is where we're starting to see the difference in skill level, I think. Because I think I loved Keithor's responses so far, so especially that idea of like saving your 50-50, it's an equity play because, okay, there's only a 50% chance, but if that 50% chance happens, then the payoff is huge. Kithra with a curvy tile. Now that kind of stuff will, again, the way opponents use curves shows a lot about who they are. I like this move by Kithra, that he does not finish his monastery. The reason why he does not finish his monastery is because he has enough meeples. And actually, it will be a bit of a rookie mistake. It's a logical move to finish your own meeple, but with that, finish your own feature and get a meeple back. But with that, black would be making it much easier for Squalus to get his meeple back. And in a position where black has the meeple advantage, he wants to have that temporary meeple advantage for long as possible. Now, this blocking attack has a lot more venom than one might think. Keithra draws the key tile. So now this city is super, super dangerous. But also, what I've noticed is that this square is super dangerous because 3 out of 4 T-shaped crossroads have gone out. And let's say if Keithra draws the last remaining T-shaped crossroads and places over here, then this 2-point meeple of red will be a goner.
Yeah. And now Squalus has the last chance for taking that city.
Well, he has to.
Mm-hmm.
But look at this. And now Keithra draws the dagger? Well, Keithra now doesn't have to put this dagger over here because it's not his city to finish anymore. So he can just start accumulating, I think, cleaning off city caps in Red's field, getting all the city caps, and then using all the meeples of Red that are tied up in other places. Then he's going to use his temporary meeple advantage to get his city back. And this is the first move where I massively disagree. Keithra's idea is to start a blocking attack, but here's the thing, it's not important strategically. So of course Keithra's plan is to get a straight road over here because 3 of the triple city with the road tiles have gone out. This was the critical one of them. But Squalus could decide that he's far enough behind to do something like this. Same move, but with a meeple. He would get like a place his last meeple on a Dorito and simply hope for the quadruple city tile and try to get a boatload of points by overrunning this city. Or yeah.
Yes. Interesting choice by Squalus, the last tile.
Well, I mean, with the last tile, I do agree because you have to defend that square. It's too important.
Well, yes, but at the same time, he would have the chance to free the meeple and scoring 6 more points, and perhaps it would have compensated that loss on the city.
Oh right, yeah. I kind of forgot that this guy's over here waiting, and there's not a lot of tiles that actually suit there, which explains Keithra's move right now, Martin. Look at what he did. He placed this tile over here, and this is something that he does a lot. It's not really a block, because there's still 2 starting tiles remaining that fit into this square, so it's a 75% that Squall is going to get his meeple back. But it's a delay, because there are 4 regular straight lines, and 1 crossroads, and 2 starting tiles, right? Let me just draw 2 starting tiles. Well, Squalus happens to have drawn one of them, right? So what Keithra did, out of a pool of 7 tiles available from Squalus, he reduced this number of tiles to 2, which would make these 4 straight lines still in the deck useless for Squalus. So Squalus got a bit fortunate here by drawing what he needs a little bit earlier, so there's now only 1 starting tile remaining. But actually Squalus's troubles don't end here. The point of Keithra's move is that this tile that Squalus needed over here, he also needed over here as well to free up his meeple. So it's kind of a Sophie's choice block. He's forcing red to need the same tile in multiple places. And now, Squalus also going to need the same tile over here, and if he so chooses, Keithra can maybe start a blocking attack over here at some point. I wouldn't do that right now, as Keithra, I would either start a ring road, or I would maybe go over here to acknowledge my advantage and prevent Squalus from getting a Dorito tile meepling this piece of city and trying to overrun this city completely.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't think Squalus needs that. I mean, he has the field. That starting tile was drawn very early for him, so it was perfect. And now, yeah, I mean, both of them need to follow their winning path, because now I think Squalus is an advantage, having control on the field. and some meeples back, so he also has some weapons to fight for the end game. But I know that Japanese players, especially Kitara, don't like to spend meeples early on the field, just closing the features and then in the end game just attacking with all the resources they have.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it's actually gonna work because you're saying that Squalus has the meeples. Yes, he has two of them, but Keithra has way more meeples because the thing is like a city cap comes here, finishes the city, drops a farmer, finishes the city, okay, doesn't drop a farmer. Something interesting happened with Something interesting happened with this little city over here as Squalus took to a point. He now reduced the chances of finishing this city to a 50%, but made sure that Squalus cannot, that Keithra cannot draw the starting tile, the last blocking tile. So if Squalus gets the one and only dagger, the remaining here, and then he gets this tile, the cow tile, to fit over here, then he's going to, well, first of all, share all these city points. I think the main disadvantage of red is that the red hasn't joined the city over yet. Like this ruin is worth 10 points or something. So I think it seems to me that what you were saying, Marian, was kind of already predicated on Squalus connecting to the city over here. But then if he
Yeah,
manages to finish with the right timing, he can go over here, finish the city, and drop a farmer, which is going to be a very nice 9-point field on the other side. And now the fireworks begin, as first of all, Akithra secures his long-term meeple advantage by even further reducing the number of tiles that fit into this square. There's only one tile and one only tile that fits into this square to finish Red City and free up his meeple. And note that it was all about that city threat. That's why creating threats it's so important, because as Kithra was going over here and trying to block Squalus, Squalus used such a valuable tile which would have given him a meeple back and maybe a loop road and points for the field. He used it over here for defensive purposes, and as a result, his meeple over here is still stuck. So I love how in game of Carcassonne, like everything is connected. Something that you do on one side of the board has direct impact on what you do on the other side of the board.
yeah, it's another connection for Kitara comes, um, yeah, pretty quickly. And oh, in the meantime, Setsukento won against Viv by 3 points.
Wow.
So yes, it's an interesting game.
Well, Nalahai must be having a good time on his stream. We sort of, because I know we sort of basically we sort of agreed to divvy up because they're kind of two star players. That's Keithra on Japan and Viv on Team France, and the idea was to make sure that both of the star players get. Whoops! You see, like I instinctively almost went to give the point to Viv because he usually wins, but no, Japan is the first on the scoreboard, and that's a key duel on table 5 for France to win if they want to be the first European team to ever clinch the world title. Kithora completes the field connection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought that another move that merited attention was going over here and trying to complete a 6-point road because there were still 3 of those remaining. But instead, he meeples this road, knowing there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only 2 crossroads remaining. Actually,
Yeah, I wouldn't have meeple that. It's that meeple, the second last meeple, it's too important to just score 3 points with it.
Well, I think I sort of kind of. By the way, this would have worked. Kiefer would have already
Yeah.
had 6 points. I think I can sort of understand. So this is done for defensive purposes. It is made sure that Squalus doesn't draw the crossroads himself. But now, like after this move, that's a nice find here by Squalus. I would have probably taken the points. Greedy me. Actually, I would have. I would have. Then it's really puts these guys in a bind because imagine if Squalus now gets a triangle tile, then he's going to place it
Mhm.
over here and block two of Yes, and he does draw the triangle tile. Beautiful sequence here by the French player. I'm pretty sure we're going to see the block right now.
Yes, double block.
Those are so. There's a so painful when you're on the receiving end.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You see what yeah, a rushing mistake, a rushing move makes. So Kifra has had some moves ago had a lot of meeples, and now he has only two, maybe three, and the fight for the field is still on. So yeah, it will be pretty close.
Yeah, well, there's some key tile draws. So Squalus is ahead on the scoreboard actually. So I see scenarios where Squalus doesn't connect to the city and still wins. Because like all
Yeah,
Squalus really
yeah.
needs to do is just to drop a second farmer somewhere. And I think with this move he was debating whether to even drop a second farmer here. Okay, now Keithro goes for it. And wants to have a 6-point road, but with one curve gone, it's a lower chance of it completing. Actually, I think there's only two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there's still
Yeah.
three. There's still three, right?
No, I think two.
Oh yeah. There's two. My initial counting was
Yeah,
correct. So,
yeah.
two curves that give him a meeple back, which I still like this move here by Keitharam. Now, not a very useful tile for Squalus, simply discards it at the bottom. Keithra with a Dorito tile with a road. Really not sure what to recommend here, other than maybe going over here to continue Squalus's block, but then it sort of kind of creates a field connection platform. Maybe. Actually, no, it doesn't. Surprisingly, well, it does create a field connection platform. Let's say if you go over here, then maybe Squalus can draw like a city plus road tile and drop a farmer here and try to connect either through the starting tile or through this dagger, interestingly. But it's a low probability idea, so that's why he doesn't go for it. Squalus, I know what he's tempted to do. I think Squalus is going to be tempted to go over here and drop a farmer. But the question is that a good move? Would you do it, Marian?
Well, where?
Over here, like on the left, and do a ninja farmer. Wait, I'm
But
hallucinating.
it's
I'm
not,
hallucinating.
yeah, it's not the same
Don't be
field.
like me.
But it's yeah, I think Scholars has to now to have patience because he's in the lead. He doesn't have to risk. He doesn't have to do spectacular moves. Just scoring points, perhaps blocking the Kitara city or limiting it. Let's count the simple caps.
Right. There's no simple caps remaining. There's no vanilla city caps remaining. So that's why I think the correct block is to go like this, which is a bit counterintuitive.
I think
Because
it's only one remaining, right?
yeah. Oh, there's one remaining. Yeah, let me think. One,
Yeah,
two.
one and no dividers. Yeah.
Wait, no dividers? I can see a divider over here, and where's the second one?
No, parallel dividers. I mean,
Oh yeah,
so
no
for
parallel
completing
dividers.
the
That's
city.
true.
Yeah.
None of these guys remaining. But it's a very interesting question. So like, do you go over here so that you have some sort of insurance? So basically, let's say if Keithra draws the regular cap, then you have a better chance of drawing this tile over here. Or if you think that you're behind, you go over here like this, and then you're flipping for the same tile. So there's a double impact of the tile. Like if red gets the dagger, and if this guy gets the dagger.
Or just putting it next to the monster in the right and maple the field, just to prevent Kithra doing the same.
Actually,
Either
that's pretty
either
neat.
closing, yeah, either closing his city or road. So yeah.
Well. But Keithra draws the starting tile, which would fit over here. So this meep will stay here for a very, very long time, and now we know that the red city dweller will stay here until the end of the game. But I can't really think of a productive use for Keithra here. Well, Squalus drew one of the two remaining curves. So Keithra has one tile over here that gives him a meeple back. One tile over here that gives him a meeple back. Other than that, it's not much, and it's still 10 tiles to go. And Keithra actually is going to have a tough time holding on to his lead. But let's say if red doesn't connect over here. Like, if red doesn't connect over here, then black has 12 points over here, no, 11 points over here in this beautiful city. So that's plus 10 compares to 1 point of the red, and it's already puts Keithra plus 2. And actually, if you add up these features, it's 6 points over here, 3 points over here, and 5 points over here. That's 14. So Keithra is ahead significantly, but not now, as Squalus draws the last curve that was suitable for Keithra and also creates a blocking platform. I mean, Keithra, I presume, is going to score quick points. And also, this is a sinister move. It's not only scoring quick points, it's setting up a field connection, because it's actually possible to go over here and drop a farmer and hope for either the last remaining dagger or for one of the two remaining Dorito tiles with the road. Of course, one tile that you need to be afraid of is this tile, the splitter. But Keithra is now perfectly happy scoring quick points, and even though his tile is now completely blocked over here, he wants some crucial draws. Okay, Squalus now needs to start spending meeples ASAP. Both players are completely equal on the scoreboard, but Squalus is significantly behind, as Keithra has a tremendous number of features that he needs to take care of.
he will meeple the ruin.
Actually, I think there's something stronger. Instead of the ruin, why don't we go over here, meeple the road for the same number of points? Well, okay, it's 1 point less, but it sets up a field connection, because there's still one vanilla city cap remaining. And if you go over here, you restrict this square, and this square in turn could be used to block this square. And then what you're hoping is getting a tile that goes over here and dropping a farmer like this, hoping to connect here. Does that make sense?
Well, yes, it says, but now Squalus has to meeple every tile he gets, right?
Yes.
And yeah, the problem is that if Keithra would, I would have done the same. And yeah, so I think Keithra would have taken that ruin, because it's pretty important. With all those meeples blocked, no, Keithra scoring 3, 6, 11, 14 plus 11, so 25 points. Yes, so it's minus 16, I think, right, for Squalus right now.
Yeah.
So he needs to...
Yeah, he needs to gain 16 points. But if he goes over here and drops a farmer, that's already a 13-point move.
I think it's 11 plus 3, yeah. I think the city, the point difference from that city is 11. So yes, yeah, that would have been enough. Would be enough for Squalus.
Yeah, and actually, interesting that the city is not. Wait, is it? I think it's also possible to actually go connect to the city. I'm just thinking, 1, 2, 3. Oh, here's the thing. Like, it's an interesting thing. So there's one tile remaining, that vanilla city cap, that Squalus in theory could use over here to connect to the city, but there's actually nothing that you can use over here to drop the farmer in the first place, because the remaining tiles are regular crossroads, the cow tile that fits in this square.
It's also one monastery, I think.
Oh yeah, one monastery. Okay, that's good. Yeah. No monasteries. So there was a monastery over here. 2 monasteries over here.
Oh right. I missed
that. So one vanilla tile, still one Dorito with a road left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No straight lines. What's the final tile? No extenders, no splitters. Should be faster at this. Okay, for now I'm stumped.
It was a crossroad at some point remaining, and
Yeah,
I
uncounted, yeah.
didn't see it. Okay.
Yeah, so there's
Okay,
the
that one.
crossroads. Well, I mean, Squalus probably can take 3 quick points, and then actually he can have enough to win. So if Squalus takes 3 quick points, that puts his distance between reach, and then all he needs to do is just draw this tile over here, and drop a farmer over here, and then he needs to hope that Kithra doesn't draw the city cap soon enough, because if Kithra draws the regular city cap, he's going to score 4 quick points. So he needs to hope that Kithra draws the city cap as his last tile.
Yeah.
Or wait a second.
Yeah, I think there's one triangle road remaining, right?
Yeah, one try. I counted that already, but there was like something
Okay,
else.
so that the free city tile,
Well, we're going to see that soon.
the vanilla cap, and something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so now Kithra does not get the city cap tile, and presumably his best move is now to score this road over here. Or is it crazy if he goes over here and drops a farmer himself for 3 points? Because that would be taken away from Squalus.
Oh,
I think
no,
it's stronger.
But it's not connected.
Oh, it's not that far.
Those fields.
But
yeah,
I would have liked that idea so much.
It was a good find, though, yeah.
Yeah. But like, for example, if you were to take the city cap or like any dummy tile, imagine a tile that goes over here, then going a farmer over here would prevent Squalus from taking this field and actually taking 3 points and denying 3 points for your opponent. That's nets to 6 points, more than this 5-point road. I mean, Squalus does indeed misclick.
What?
Oh wait, oh no, there was the dagger. There was the there's no.
I think
yes,
that
there's
was
a dagger.
drawn, right?
Huh?
I think that's that's a city cap and a straight road remaining.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And no straight road. That's a dagger. That was the missing tile.
Wow.
Kithra.
Okay. Nice.
Once the field connection, he decided that if he just meeples the road, he doesn't have enough. But he wants to have the redraw to the
Oh my
field.
God! What
that's
a move.
Brilliant! A 66% chance of winning. And this was an unblockable field connection because there was nothing left over here. What a find here by the Japanese player. Nice. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Oh. Yeah, you see, Elias is saying in the chat, worst possible draw for Kithra about this tile. That isn't where the word. Like, that's the best. Well, not the best, but that's the best possible draw. But this is so interesting the way the point different works. For example, I think actually every single tile was winning for Kithra at that point. Because if he draws the city cap, he gets to score 4 quick points and then to spend his last tile on something productive. If he draws this tile, well, then he's completely okay with everything because he just preserves his big city. And then if he draws this tile, he had to find it, but that's... What a find. Like, what a find here by Kithra. That's just beyond beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, I think that's the only combination for suitable for him to win. Yeah, so plus 14. The field has what, 6 cities?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
So 6 to 18. Actually, wait a second. Wait, did Kithra blunder? No, I don't think he blundered.
Oh,
okay,
he won, so no.
No. Let's actually look at this. Okay, so 13-point difference. He scored 18 points for the field instead of scoring 6 points for the road. So then he scored 12 extra points for himself. I think it's a 66% chance no matter. Wait. So instead of scoring 12 extra points for himself, right?
So he needed only 6 points?
I think he needed only 6 points in order to win.
Or 5 because he was not the first player.
Yeah, actually, look at this. So just meepling road was completely fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But the idea here, let me think about this, because if he goes over here Yeah.
And also he gave with that tile 2 points for Squalus, right? For the city. But I mean, the 4 points was, yeah, he would have taken he
Yeah,
would
he
have
would have taken just the
closing the
city
city.
cap. So it was the same thing. And
Yes,
also,
yes.
Elias is saying the road is 5 points. No, no, no. Like, it's the 5 points first you join, but then assuming that you draw the dagger, it's
Yeah,
6.
6 points. Yeah.
Okay, but even if you don't draw, okay, assuming, okay, let's say that you don't draw the dagger, then it's 5. But then the game is a tied, and the tie is enough for you. So actually, I mean, it was still a brilliant find by Keithra. It's a really great spatial vision. Unfortunately, now we know with the points counted that instead of having 100% win, he was satisfied with a just 66% win. Still, he drew the tiles.
I think it was 43, but yeah, I think it was 43, right? Because he drew one of 3
Oh, no, no, no.
tiles.
But he didn't need to connect to the field. He needed to either connect to the field or draw the tile that the Frenchman drew in order to connect. Because if he were to draw the big tile that the Frenchman had, the Frenchman would not connect to the big city.
Yeah, but oh, right, right. So it was yeah, one good tile for each.
Yeah, so it's like
Okay.
it was basically the point was to create the counter threat, which like counter threats work like a charm when you're the starting player, because when you make a counter threat on the penultimate move, okay, like either I get my tile or I get your tile, and so and then it's like
Yeah,
100%
it's
win.
good either way.
But here it's a
Okay,
66.
so let's see. I think the first round was finished for all players.
Right.
So we have 1 through 3 winning against Shrewd.
Well, well, well.
Yep.
That's quite the upset. And La Ash winning against Pyro, is that correct?
Yes. And
Ezirakudu just won against Blitz.
yeah. So it's 3-2 for Japan right now.
Yeah, and also as a Dakuta winning was a bit of an upset. I mean, still like Japanese players are all strong, but rating wise, I think France really needs just for something to happen on table 3. Well, anyway, like regarding the previous game, I was just so excited about that find, but then it turns out that the simple, boring move was actually more correct.
It wasn't precise, but spectacular. So
Yes, 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 yes.
it was, yeah, something for us to commentate on.
But this is interesting, like where it's sort of the curse of being sort of a higher rated player. This is a move which won't most players wouldn't find. Most players would just take the 5 punch road because it's sort of normal, and then they would win the game with 100% chance instead of a 66% chance.
Yeah.
Okay, in this game over here, we're in for an early field battle. Both opponents are playing pretty fast, as Keithra has already finished a little city for 8 points with a shield. Squalus finished a small city for 4 points without a shield. And look at this, we now have quite the field battle over here. With this move, Keithra did something I'd never do. Yeah, actually, so he went over here to drop a farmer and also to harass this city a little bit instead of just adding 1 point to his monastery, which is something that I tend to do typically. Also, actually, quite possible to drop a farmer over here.
Yeah, but now Scholars will play with 1 meeple less, I would say. Only for 2 points, because now he cannot defend, and it's easy to block.
But it's fine. It's just a mini battle because it's next to Black's monastery.
Yeah, it would be, yeah, okay. So the point difference, it will be maximum 6 points, right?
I really don't like this farmer by Squalus because this one can get blocked easily for 6 points. Like, it's okay to drop a farmer, but not with this tile. Drop it with a tile that allows field expansion.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking for Kitara to meeple that field a move before, but I suppose that he wanted to trick Squalus into taking that instead of him.
Yes, and it totally worked like a charm.
Yes, and consuming 1 meeple. So, I was afraid that Squalus would have place a farm there. Farmer there.
But that's an excellent actually defense here by the Frenchman. So that was a very vulnerable square, and I think to the naked eye it almost looks like he's restricting the square further. But actually now there are all kinds of tiles that still fit into the square, and so it
It's
was
still,
yeah
yeah,
yeah.
it's still early to talk about the blocking moves. Plenty of tiles left.
So that was a nice defense over here. But also now that I think about this field is really not that big. I wonder why. I think the reason why players started that early field fight was because this city was going to get finished. And then the field would be not only worth more points because of one extra completed city on it, but it would also be more, how do I say, it would also be more open. But now that this has closed, now that this field has all kinds of roads around this, I don't really see it growing much beyond 9 points.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Setsugento won the second game also against Viv.
Wow.
So yeah, it's the first big point for Japan. I would say the biggest point available in this final.
Well, this was the key duel, and that's why I think the pairing was not like I had a feeling this could happen. Like I know Kai's tile, it's just a bit It's not that easy to deal with for somebody who's just gotten used to European Carcassonne. So Kiefer is making an interesting move, starting a road in the place which would allow Squalus to connect the farmer, which I think he shouldn't do right now. I think we can see that Squalus sort of builds up his.
Well, let's see. So for the moment, Squalus field is worth 6 points.
Yep.
While the road will be 5, right? So I think Kithra needs to close it before Squalus because the field is not that big. So and also Squalus has another meeple on the field on the left side. So I think it's not for him to close that or to contribute to that road.
I think so. I completely agree, Marian, but I also think that Kiefer was trying to trick Squalus. He saw that sort of Squalus bit as he dropped the farmer over here. He thought, okay, maybe like this field is so important for him. Let me try and force him to continue my road. But we see that the French player didn't bite and chose correctly here, trying to attack one city and harass the other. I think that's quite a strong move. Kithra gets a city cap that would, in all likelihood, be used to finish a city, give him a 6-point advantage on the scoreboard. Now both sides are equal on meeples. Squalus with a curve, presumably either going to start a ring road at the top, which is something I'm fond of. But I think the Frenchman will probably go over here to block. But I think it's a bit too early to block. The reason why I would do the ring road first is, first of all, because I'm behind on the scoreboard, I kind of need to catch up, but also because it expands the field by a lot. It allows me to draw city caps there. And there's a scenario how we maybe get a Dorito tile over here and block this farmer off from entering. And then we enjoy a nice 2 versus 1 majority on the field. And Squalus decided to do as we suggest, I think, for precisely the spatial ideas. And now Kiefer with the monastery tile. The question is, do you meeple it? And if you do meeple it, where? So yeah, there's this move. Which I expected to happen. Squalus now is dangerously close. Drew one of the 2 remaining daggers to almost finish his ruin, and now this 8-point city is looking quite dangerous. So Kithra, the question is, can Kithra even go over here and continue his city? Or does he need to spend a valuable tile in going over here and trying to block the square? He could actually he can even meeple the road, maybe.
Yes.
He chooses not to meeple the road.
Okay,
as Squalus, I can see a defensive move which is super strong. Let's see if he finds it. There is, of course, well, I mean, he could ignore that threat, but I wouldn't. The main threat of this move is banking on the fact that the quadruple city tile has already been gone out. So with any city plus road tile, such as the cow, or the city plus field tile, with such as the cow or the Dorito, black will go over here and make sure that nothing fits into the square. But with this exact move, yes, I like very much what the Frenchman is doing now. He's making it almost impossible to block, because the only city cap that fits into that square is the dagger, but almost it needs to be with the curve facing leftward. So there's only one
Mm-hmm.
blocking tile, and there's still 5 tiles that that Squalus can use to block that square. So I think the best that Keithra can hope for, I mean, for starters, just take the 4 points. This is what I would do. But instead, he goes for the blocking first. It's not a block, but it's a 50-50 block. He decides that this is pretty urgent. And I mean, he might be
Yeah.
correct. He might be correct. Actually, yeah, I kind of like this move. So there's still
Yeah.
one tile that fits into this square, exactly the tile that Keithra needed last game, and he drew it. And now Squalus
Mhm.
needs it in this game. Will he draw it too? And it definitely restricts the probabilities by a lot. And also, the city cap could create a mild annoyance for Squala. So maybe if Keithra manages to draw a starting tile and score a city over here, then there are some scenarios where Squalas does get this key tile, but then maybe this square for his city is blocked. So at the very least, he doesn't get to complete it.
Yeah. So I think now Kithra, I mean, both of them are really blocked, and it's hard for them to, for example, to start a monastery or to start a big feature. They now have to find a way of freeing the meeples back,
Ooh.
so that they can have more options towards the end. But now scholars, yeah, can work pretty well for closing that city.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There's 3 moves that Squalus can do. So look at this over here. Squalus made a move, actually, that I wouldn't have made. I would have probably gone over here, trying to simply
Mm-hmm.
attack the city cap and make sure that I cover up myself. So
Yeah.
I would just block the attacking square. He chose to prioritize differently. He chose to start a blocking attack against this road and against this city. And actually, if you think about it, he can make a double blocking move right now. He can go over here, place this tile like this, and make sure that there's only one tile that's left to fit into this square. But he actually now agrees with you. He wants to continue his city slash ruin. There's still plenty of Dorito tiles that go over here that would allow this city to get completed. Excellent prioritization on the part of the Frenchman. Does seem to work out. And yeah, Kiefer doesn't really draw a good tile to bother that city. I mean, well, he can take these 4 points, right?
Or next to his monastery.
Or 2 points next to his monastery, which is
Yeah.
probably even stronger. I mean, it is on Red's field, so that's a bit iffy. But there's another move which I quite like. It's going over here. Protecting your road. Yes, he found it. Because there's still all
All of
4
them,
of
yeah.
the crossroads remaining. And also indirectly continuing your city. I think it's actually a very strong move here. But Squalus is the one who picks off the 4-point road. And you see, this is why it's so important to create threats in Carcassonne. Red created the threat of completing the ruin, and even if he doesn't manage to get to complete it, even if he doesn't draw the tile that goes into this square, because Kiefer spent a valuable tile on blocking instead of scoring points, this scoring opportunity remained there for Squalus. There was another time where Squalus had one more blocking move available to him. Kithra, instead of scoring their 4 points, decided to defend. And then finally Squalus drew the scoring tile that allowed him to take 4 points. But these 4 points were only there because of the earlier threat that he was creating. So Excellent sequence here by the Frenchman.
Yeah, yeah. And now I think he has to defend for the triangle without roads
I
to
think
his
so,
city.
yeah. So, I mean, but it's
Yeah,
also tempting to get your meeple back, but don't. There's still plenty more tiles to
yeah.
do that, yeah.
Just be
So the
patient.
idea is that we go over here, and this move has so many benefits. So the threat of Kithra is to place a straight line over here, and then there would be only one tile that goes over here, and only one tile that goes over here, because 4 out of the 5 Dorito tiles with the road have gone out. On the other hand, there's still 3 regular Doritos remaining, Doritos with a field, plus the 2 Doritos with a shield. Oh, no, sorry, plus the 1 divider, plus all
Mm-hmm.
4 of the triple cities if you ever need to bail out. And the extra benefit of the defensive move that you're suggesting is this formation with the 2 roads pointing down. It's actually very defensive
Yeah,
because
exactly. Yeah.
yes. Because it means that in order to even create his next blocking platform, Kithora would need to draw a road tile, and a road tile in particular, and Squalus finds it. Kithora was going to go over here, but now presumably he's going to go over here. He did draw a road tile, but again, all these blocking sequences is distracting from maybe
Completing the
Black's
monastery. Yeah.
Monastery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, well, there's still plenty of tiles to go here. He can do that a little bit later. It's actually a big issue which side you go this for, because we're now going to experience, see if he knows dagger asymmetry, and he does. Wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful.
yes, but yeah, the timing is not that convenient for him because
I mean,
yeah,
Squalist, yeah.
Kitra could attack the city,
But
but
he still needs to try. He
he
still needs to
still
try
needs,
it.
of course.
Oh, one
Mm.
tile, one tile. Actually, I would not have meepled this. I think he didn't have to meeple this.
Yeah, just
Um,
to set a trap.
yeah.
Perhaps, yeah,
Well,
if Kitra would have drawn a curve, perhaps would have been eager to close to take the 5 points road instead
I
of
mean, Kiefer
blocking the
would
city.
block. Kiefer would block. Sort of. I know. No, he would. It would be like setting off another trap, leaving this road open. But I think the main point is that you can afford to leave this road open because Kiefer can.
The thing is now Squalus needs in both places curves
Yeah.
in order to free it. So other than that, he's lost. So he desperately needs to find the curve right now.
Well,
Yeah,
he did.
he found it.
Not the best curve, but still doable.
But yeah, it's okay.
Well, now that I think about this, I mean, the city did get blocked. It was a very nice blocking sequence, and indeed, both players, it was a good defense, it was a good attack, and also Keither so skilled. It was important to attack from this side, because from this side there's one fewer defense tile, because all the 3 daggers from this side have gone out, so it was not possible for Squalus to place a dagger in order to defend this tile towards a triple city with a field. So it was super precise
Exactly,
by
yeah.
the Japanese player.
These little details make so much difference. So yeah, but for sure it will be a low scoring game due to the fact that they both committed to a field which turns out that it is not that big.
Yeah.
Yes, and now yeah, a lot of tiles will be dropped.
Yeah.
But now Squalus, yeah, the perfect tile for him. Okay.
Actually, I think I understand why Keither doesn't want to go there. He doesn't want to go there just yet, because if he goes here, then there's still all the 4 regular quadruple crossroads are out. So red would be able to connect to the field with extra tempo. By scoring 4 points to the road. And like Kiefer really hates dropping that road. He wants to first wait for red to connect. Ooh. No. Get the meeple back.
I think he forgot about it.
Maybe. I think his idea was I know what he was thinking. Yeah, his idea is that, oh, he wants to have what he wants to have.
But hmm, why connected the black farmer to the field?
I think his idea is okay. I know what his idea is. It just doesn't work. His idea is that he wants to connect all the farms and then connect here and like win a bigger farm. But it's not really that bigger. And also like by connecting your
Exactly.
opponents, you just relinquish the like now black has the majority on this field. Black has 12 points. There are some scenarios how this little guy who has not made his way into this field just yet is gonna is gonna get stranded. Like you need to connect your own farmers.
Exactly,
Uh,
exactly. And the thing is that if the center farmer will only win the cities not on his field, not yeah, not so only 3 points. So I think that move was a mistake. And now Black says, okay, you know what? Take the farm. I want to free up my cities, my meeples, and just let's see what happens. Because the
yeah.
ruin, okay, red has the ruin, but black has the monastery. So okay, it's I think 6 point, and the other monastery, the field will be okay around let's say 12 points, but Kitra has 6 on the scoreboard. Yeah, I think Kitra affords to let the to let go of the field battle.
Yeah, and also Kiefer has the threat here. There's still there's still all the four triple city tiles that give him a couple of points and then create the threat of completing his city over here. And then Squalus will be forced to spend some blocking moves and so on and so on. But actually, um, you know what could happen? I noticed that we're really running out of road tiles as plenty of curved straight lines were drawn for blocking and so on. There's only one straight line remaining, there's only one curve remaining. So there is a chance that Squalls just never draws a tile that goes over here.
Oh yeah, but I think there were the crossroads remaining.
The crossroads, but you
But
hate to use a value tile on such a list. Like you want to use the crossroads for scoring 4 points over here. And look at this, Keithora just blatantly
oh
decides to start finishing the
oh
city.
yeah, and speaking about the two roads, the indirect defenders. So if a tile without roads, you cannot block or even defend defend
Mm-hmm.
the defensive move. So now, yes,
But
Kisra
here's the
has the
thing:
first chance.
Kiefer has the first chance, but also Kiefer realized that he actually has a lot of tiles to finish this city. Well, not a lot of tiles. He actually has only 2 tiles, I think, now that would allow him to finish the city immediately. But Squalus has very few blocking tiles. Okay, there's one curve which goes over here, but Squalus needs it in 2 places, which I think was such a huge mistake not to put yourself with
Mhm.
2 meeples. I know that the squares is shared, but yeah, and actually Squalus probably has to do something like this to continue Keither's city just to reduce the chances of the city being finished. And actually, there's might be 0 tiles remaining to finish the city. And look at this, Keither is now trying to block Squalus, and Squalus cannot take 4 points now. That's the tragedy of this move. Well,
Or
now he
even
probably has to go over here.
yeah, or even freeing his meeple from the road.
Yeah,
And now, as I said, the chance of closing that this new 4 points road comes to Kisara and placing a curve next to his monastery.
yeah,
So you're
yeah,
right
yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you have to, and exactly, this is exactly what happens. Oh, look at this, and Keither will just be super
Okay.
happy to snatch the 4 points. Or he could actually also go over here and renew the threat of completing this city. Um,
I think that the 4 points is it's also a psychological move.
yes, 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 yes.
Say, you know what?
Oh,
Yeah, thank you for that.
Squalus lost 8 points on that sequence. Okay, Squalus now miscounting the tiles. Oh wait, or not miscount. Yeah, Squall not miscounting the tiles. There was actually nothing that left to fit into that square. That's again an oversight. Should have taken 4 points instead of 2.
Or freeing his road for. But now it's not convenient anymore because the monastery will
Yeah.
be completed as well.
Because the whole point of it, the whole point of getting a meeple back was simply to get a temporary meeple advantage. But now it's not going to give any temporary meeple advantage. Oh yeah. But okay, like I can understand everything, but this move, am I hallucinating? But I think it's just a miscount. No, yeah, it's a miscount. There was nothing that left to fit in that square in the first place.
Perhaps triangle with road.
No triangles
I
with
think
road because we discussed this earlier on with this blocking situation over here, and this triangle with road was spent over here on these 4 points. So again,
Oh yeah, there
Squalus.
were only 4. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, so 2 points instead of 4.
And now Kiefer is going to draw the next crossroads and score 4 points instead of 2. So it's going to be a 4 point mistake. Like you make an 8 point mistake there, 4 point mistake here, and yeah,
They add up.
Yeah, they really add up. It's like it's almost like 15 points worth of these little mistakes. And the thing with the field, I think that the plan of Keither for this game should absolutely be to try win without the field. I think after these quick points he can do that. But in case he fails to do so, there is always the option of taking a curve, going over here and dropping a farmer for 3 points, hoping to get one of the 2 remaining T-shaped crossroads that free up his meeple and let in the guy into the farm. So here's the thing with expanding your farm earlier on, which is something that Squalus did. If you expand your farm, typically you also expand the connection opportunities towards your farm. Yeah. So you have to ask, is that one city in my farm worth it? Shall I compromise the integrity of my farm to make it temporarily bigger? Or do I need to keep it small? Well, Kithra just drops a city cap tile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like it's leaving an empty city open, but not really, because there's no tile that goes into that square. Also, I'm surprised on why Squalus would have put this tile in the first place, because it prevents the growth of his own farm. So I definitely see many inconsistent moves on the part of the French player. Keith draws the dagger. You see, it's not the dagger that would have fit into this square. It's the other kind of dagger.
But you know what? Kithra now could place it in line with his monastery, just waiting for the simple triangle without road, because I think they are free. Yeah, they're free left. You know, just to show some, I don't know.
Wait. Oh, that's
brilliant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, that's brilliant. I look at this, and then you have 5 tiles that give you a meeple back. You go here, bam.
And I believe that's all of the shield. all are shielded, right? So 8 points. Yeah. Okay, but
no, he doesn't. He doesn't go for it. He doesn't go for it.
He doesn't want to risk. Okay.
Okay, so instead he just makes a different kind of move, and he doesn't want to go on the field. Like he's Squalus. Are there even city caps remaining? Actually, I think there are no. There's only the extender. 2 of the extenders. So I'm thinking, as Squalus, how about having a little gamble, going over here, and just leaving this city open, up for grabs? What do you think, Martin?
Yeah, that could work. I mean, it's on his field, right?
Yep.
The damage, yeah, it's not that big. I mean,
Thank you, Wise Maze,
Yeah.
that we're for confirming that we're headed to two deciders on table one, on table two, as Should equalizes against 1-3, and La Hache, no, as Pyro equalizes against La Hache. So things are now looking pretty
Mhm.
good for Team Japan. Ah, well, you see, he turned it the other way. But actually, you know what? There was a danger of leaving it because then Kithra would have taken that city, pointed it to
Yeah.
the right. So I
But
can sort
now,
of kind of understand him.
yeah, but now he would have closed that 8 city, 8 point city. So,
Oh yeah,
you know,
Kithra
with
would have
that with the
closed this
dagger.
8-point city.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with the move. I really like the move that you were suggesting. I think even that was a miss, because like 5 tiles that give your meeple back. Like it's such a huge threat. This Dorito. It's well. Okay, Squalus, yes, Meeple the Road. Excellent move here. He now realized that he's in dire straits. He now needs something special, but it is Keithra who draws the penultimate crossroad. There's still 1 and 1 crossroads only remaining. So Squalus would really need to get that crossroads in order to get him people back. Keithra
Mm,
gets extra points, which you don't seem to
yeah, but
like, Marian.
also gives 3 more points to squads, you know, adding the city to the field.
Yep. Okay. Squalus drops the city cap on his farm, but Keithra draws the last crossroads. And I think
Mm-hmm.
with that,
Takes the
Squalus is
win.
saying GG, and rightfully so, as he really needed that crossroads in order to get his meeple back. Well, okay, Squalus is getting his meeple back alongside Keithra's, but Keithra with a monastery. Actually, with the monastery, he cannot block uh, Squalus's city, so that's a nice 7 points towards Squalus towards the end. Actually, who
Well,
won? I'm not so sure who won. Must be Keithra still, right?
yes, I think Kitra has okay, Squads has the field, but Kitra has the advantage on the scoring board, and also
Yeah.
some ruins and yeah.
Oof.
So we have 2-0 for Japan right now.
Yep, it would be the case. So let's see what the score is here first. Yeah, only 15 points for the field. So a lot of effort into the field. So it looks like 11-point difference, which looks like insurmountable, but in fact it wasn't. 11 points is just about what these little mistakes add up to.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Are they like, especially the most painful one was this one connecting black into his field, whereas it was simply more important to get this guy in or finish his road, and then as a result, relinquishing these 4 points to Kithara and also helping him finish this monastery. That was. But you see, that's a very interesting game, very tight, very exciting, exactly the type of position that Kithra likes to play. Just managed to squeeze out the life of his opponent. So,
Yes.
congratulations, Japan, to their second point. Well, I also hear that now things are not looking that great for France, as basically now France needs to win every single game from now on.
Yeah. Can we go to Blitz game? Because it might mean the victory for Japan. There are 6 tiles remaining, and these Takuto Traps won the first game.
Yep.
And
So Izuku won the first game. Blitz is playing his second game. So Ezitakuto is significantly ahead on the scoreboard, but I see a lot of black meeples on the field. So what else? Black is cut off from this city. Big city which is shared between two people. So Blitz, minus 17 on the scoreboard, but how are we doing for field? So this 9-point field here for red, that's Japan.
yeah.
But this guy is about to connect, so let's presume he's successful. This very cute, very tiny teeny 12-point field, which is enclosed, shared between two parties. And I was going to say that, oh, Blitz has the main field, but the main field is only worth 6 points, which doesn't even score as much as this
Exactly. Yeah.
monastery. So, oof, I'm not sure. Well, unless we see a loss on time, which is not impossible, I think uh, we're about to witness something special a couple of minutes from now.
Yeah.
Ezirakuro choosing to start a new city. Blitz gets a city cap. He now needs to hope that Ezirakuro doesn't get another city cap. Probably wants to connect to the field, or he actually doesn't have to connect to the field. He can go like over here
Mm-hmm.
and maybe leave it empty, and then maybe take 7 points for himself in the future.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
maybe find a
Exactly.
sequence at the end that he goes like over here, meeples this, and connects. But all of this requires 4 tiles, and 4 tiles is exactly what he has. So he really needs to plan this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 curves remaining, okay. And I'm gonna presume 1 city cap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No vanillas, no starting tiles, no regular splitters, no splitters of any kind. Wait, city cap with a crossroads. I see a city cap with a crossroads. Okay, here's the winning plan. It actually might work. So we go, yes, we go over here, leave this empty.
Mm-hmm.
As Ezekuru gets this, it's inconsequential. On the next move, we get the city cap, and then on the last 2 moves, okay, Blitz gets the city cap. Perfect, perfect,
Or
perfect.
that, yes.
I must have miscounted something. I don't think it's actually going to quite work. Ezirakuro gets the thing where he might extend his city, but actually that's not what he has to do. And then if he goes here, then Blitz can go here and drop a farmer and get himself 12 points. Ah, but not with that
Yeah,
tile.
but with that tile, no, it's not possible. Okay.
Blitz can only score quick points here, which he should. Mm. Or quick points here to be safe.
Yeah, 3 points. So okay.
Yeah, there was also this lovely idea of scoring quick points over here and looping up and looping his farmer into here, but it's just not enough tiles to accomplish all the
Mm-hmm.
objectives. Yeah, there's only 1 curve remaining, so uh, still, I think this idea was quite possible.
Yes.
Actually, even I don't think it would have been enough even then. Eh,
Yeah, it's very unfortunate that Maple trapped on the attacking city tile. I think he risked it all right there for 20 points or so city.
yeah, yeah. It's well, it's just appears to have been something that must have been done. Yeah, thank you for confirming, Wise Maze, that yeah, T-shaped crossroads, and so this idea was no longer live, sadly. Well, there was another idea live. Actually, what Blitz could have done, Blitz could have gone over here and dropped a farm and hoped to get the T-shaped crossroads to connect like this. That was also another option. Not that it would have been enough for anything.
Yeah. And now the last tile, the Japanese player, I think, yeah, I can score 3 points, and that's it.
Just needs to not lose on time.
Oh yeah, that as well.
Let me make the screen a little bit bigger as we're about to witness the point counting for A very special moment for Team Japan. Blitz can also score only 3 points for any of the city ruins of his choosing. Chooses the one on the top left. And I believe it's going to be like a plus 15 or something victory for the Japanese player.
Yeah, over
Maybe
20.
even more, yeah.
Yeah, that city, I think, would have been enough for Blitz to win, but yeah, I didn't watch that sequence, the blocking sequence for Red.
And I mean, what it appears to me is that this tile was placed, yeah, then this, then this. So it's well, minus 16 for Blitz, just the difference between just, this means that this ruin actually would have done it. It was worth around 16 points, or maybe even actually a little bit more. Wasn't meant to be, and it is Ezirakuro Traps, the only expert on the Japanese Japanese team who brings Japan the decisive points and a fourth world title. The score is now 3-0 in favor of Japan, and Japan has done it again.
Yes, congratulations. It's amazing.
So nobody can say that Carcassonne is a luck game anymore. It's the same country 4 years. 4 years. What a great show. And we saw the moves from Kiefer, completely deserved. I'm pretty sure that Table 5 was interesting, but there's still honor to fight for. There's still some hopefully exciting Carcassonne that's going on. So we're going to be headed on Table 2 to Pyro and watch their decider against La Hache. So now the goal of France is to try and score at least one honor match point. So now this one's an evenly matched position, it appears, with 18 points for Pyro and 14 for La Hache. The Frenchman playing with the yellow meeples, just 4 points behind on the scoreboard, and Pyro is playing with the red meeples. But La Hache is doing it. He's taking over a big city.
Yeah.
Which may not be enough, because this Japanese guy here has this monastery cluster going on and a monastery spot for a new one. So I think this move, no, it's still a pretty big advantage, I would have to say.
It is, yes.
Yeah. The reason for that is that La Hache, very wisely, knowing that his opponent had the monastery cluster, went for the field and already secured the majority on the fields with 2 points. Something that maybe Squalus should have done in his first game against Kithra.
Yeah, perhaps, yes. I'm looking in the same time at Shoot versus 1-2-3 game. They seem to have only 10 tiles left. Perhaps if you want to switch to that and then come back to this game to
let's do this, because I know that
both of them.
I'm pretty sure that Nalaheim is covering that one. So if somebody wants to watch that game, they can just watch his stream archive afterwards. We sort of divvied up the tables before the stream.
Okay. So yeah, the field now looks pretty big. So Pyro doesn't have enough meeples to. Okay, does have 2 meeples to attack it, but La Hache can come with the backups, and yeah, it's pretty good for him that he managed to close the big city and in the same time fighting for the big field. So it's just perfect for him.
So the plan here for Pyro is, I think, to finish his monasteries and then to win the field, because he needs to get that firepower. He needs to get those meeple back in order to do that, and then he would win the game, because these monasteries they give him enough points to equalize La Hache on the scoreboard. It's really just all about those fields. La Hache here very excellently starting a new city with the idea of just creating more threats, more annoyances. So Pyro doesn't know. Does he just add 2 points to one of his monasteries, or does he go over here and needs to deal with another city? Actually, I'm changing my mind. I think I agree with Marian. I think we need to start looking at that game as well too, because this one's getting pretty difficult for Pyro. We're going to see an interesting comeback plan. We might even see a comeback from the Japanese player, as he quite wisely, I think, chooses to take 2 points, and he will want to block this city later. Laash, I think, defending his city from a block because all the 3 daggers had gone out. So Pyro
Mm-hmm.
could have drawn a big tile and then try to commit this guy to this square. But the problem that I see with this move is that, okay, now this square is vulnerable again. But wait, Laash knows something. I don't think he's going to take 4 quick points, although I would be tempted. So I think they're going to go over here and meeple this road and create yet another threat and force Pyro to invest the meeple into the city.
Seems that he's playing the strategic variant when you have 3 tiles in your hand, and then play. I don't know if you have tried it before, playing here on Wargamer than the strategic variant of Carcassonne.
I have
Did
tried a
you?
few times, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
and then I sort of decided that I don't want to play Carcassonne variants that would mess with my thinking in the base game. Maybe that's a
Oh,
bit
yeah, yeah.
close-minded, but
No, yeah, it's understandable. Okay.
there's one famous player who prefers the. Well, there's several famous players. Viv plays the strategic variant a lot, and Vladimir Kovalov, even though he doesn't actually really play it, he sort of prefers it intellectually. Like he thinks that there's less luck, which is partially true, but on some levels they're more luck. Because if you draw a good tile, then you can make them super impactful.
Yeah,
Well,
yes.
so, oh, I love this move by Pyro. Look at this, look at this. He's creating volatility. So first of all, he's doing a reduction of probabilities. There's only one regular Dorito that goes over here, no splitters. And I think he's actually okay with just leaving the 50-50. He's not even going to complete the block because this situation is that dire. And then he connects to Laash's city in a, how do you say this, in a vulnerable way. No, in a way that makes it vulnerable to another attack. So it forces the Frenchman to simply prevent.
But look at that, look at that.
Look at that! Look at what I got! Laash running away with a beautiful 24 city. Surely this has to be the game. Surely it has to be the game, but Pyro's not going to get. No, 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 no! Ah, no! What are you doing? The Japanese player is
Yeah.
tilting. You're not now. No, it's so painful to watch. Like, I think this was such a beautiful time. The comeback was still possible. You go over here, you still meeple the monastery, you ignore the field for a while, then you get back all these meeples, and then you attack the field. I don't think we can afford to do such stuff when we have the meeple minority.
Yeah, it's pretty impossible to equalize the field, I think. I mean,
Yeah.
for a hash, he has a lot of tiles to connect the third farmer, so yeah, I don't know.
Like, Laash can just
Perhaps
drop a third farmer now.
he just did, right? So with the closing tile for that
Oh,
city.
right, this one. Well, let's presume if this farmer gets separated or something. I meant a
Oh
farmer
yeah,
over here.
okay. So another one. Yeah, perhaps Pro found out the results
Maybe,
from
but
his
like,
teammates, and his plays relaxed, and
I know, but still, like, how do you not? I can't. I'm like, it's. When I see this, it's
not
just it's
comprehensible for
genuinely
us.
painful. Yeah, I know it's genuinely painful for me. Like when surely you've had enough, because was the comeback route. It was still doable. It was still doable even after that. And look, a good move now. It sort of sets up 2 ring roads. I actually really like it. Oh, okay. Enough. Talk about this. Let's just see how Pyro could bail out of it. Well, he could still finish his monasteries. Just 2 monasteries. And then the field. Yeah, I don't know. So let me think about this. Okay, had he done this, had he gone over here, then the monasteries presumably are like 30 something points together. He gets maybe extra 10 for road, so that's 40. That puts him in like 71. with a bunch of meeples. And then La'ash, let's say, has a stronghold on the field for like 30 points. Can Pyro score 17 points with a bunch of meeples? Yeah, not really, probably. It's going to be a lot of quick points, maybe a counter field somewhere, but I don't even know where. Whew. La'ash can go here now, actually, just to preserve his 9-point field at the top. Doesn't do that. Instead, he wants to mess with Pyro City. Actually, Pyro now continues his monastery and also scores a 3-point road. And Pyro, I was going to say, could in theory get a tile, like a Dorito tile plus this, but because La'ash got it, we're going to see 4 points, and we're going to see this monastery blocked.
Yeah, 4 points, and also on his field, so yeah, that will secure the game, I think.
Well, we do seem to be watching the right game, because thank you, Wisemate, for confirming that Should completed his own comeback in his duel at 1 against 1-3. Oh, man. So it is only the Frenchman who's going to save France from a complete defeat. So in their quarters, finals, semifinals, and finals, Japan won 4-1, 5-0, and 4-1.
Yes, they seem to concentrate a lot better when they really need to.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. So this is the tile I was wanting to talk about, that it could have gone over here, and then this city cap could have gone over here, but oh, yeah. So I think now La'ash just needs to make a tattoo of a Dorito somewhere visible on his body, because look at 2 of these guys. So many points, like 20 here, 20. That's like 40 points for these 2 cities.
Yeah.
Which actually, like, it's a common. It's not a common. It's a rare imbalance. Also happens to be one of my first videos. Wait. Okay, so Ash is now doing something weird. I think he's trying to really, really secure himself on this farm, but then leaving up this road up for grabs for himself.
For himself,
So,
yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I
and
think
also
maybe,
connecting.
Yeah, and also connecting the fields, which actually he didn't need to do, because this guy was scoring 9 points extra on his own. But now, on the other hand, if you're controlling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, a 30-point field, does it matter that you just burn an extra meeple? I don't think it does. Yeah. Also, like, it appears that Pyro's not exactly in comeback mode, because his previous move, I think, should have been meepling this road first, and only then getting his monastery meeple back, and then wanting to draw the curve for himself, for the straight line for himself.
Okay. Yes, so now, yeah, Piro has meeple advantage, and in theory he could attack the field, but I think there's no time for him right now. Those monsters really needed to be completed more earlier in the game, let's say. Okay. And now, did he spend one? Did he? Okay, no. So he wants to wait for the field to take the field. Yeah, there is one spot. Yeah, it's really difficult for him right now.
I mean, it was difficult before. It was doable at some point. It was even doable after the city. But, like, so far from what I'm seeing, I just, like, prefer the Frenchman's moves, even. Good prioritization. Obviously got the coin for the Dorito, but even without the Dorito, there was still this triple city tile, which would have worked as well. Pyro Yeah, decides to
Another
just drop as
farmer,
many
yeah.
farmers as possible. So
But for yeah, for 0 points, for 3 points, so now he needs the both of the curves left just
yeah, just to connect here,
to connect on 4 versus 2. So it's not enough. But yeah, it's the only chance for him, so why not?
and
They
then he
already
needs to get
won
something here. It's just,
as well. Also curve, yeah.
and there's not even a road monastery in play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go, there we go. Yes, all the curves,
But
get all the curves. There's still a Dorito with a road.
okay.
Like it's, come on, give it a try. Wait, so but he still he doesn't just have enough moves. One curve,
Exactly.
another curve, and then he would need like to connect here as well. But it's just not gonna work.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Well, at least he tried.
Melvin is saying Pyro is not counting because he's listening from the cockpit where the championship, where the champions. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
most likely.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he knows already. But well, I don't know if like if it's my last game of the championship, I'm still going to try put all my efforts to get the comeback, which was meaning to placing that monastery over here. I still can't get over
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, it was the right move, I think.
Laash can still lose this if he loses on time. So don't think
Oh,
longer for 1 minute and
right.
40 seconds. The move to me appears to be taking the 6 point ruin and then getting your meeple back with one of the remaining curvoids, and then, having something nice and sweet for dessert worth 3 points maybe. This is exactly what Laash does. Pyro, yeah, just simply figures, you know what, like, I'm gonna block myself, I'm gonna see myself out at this farm, because I know I'm not getting in.
Yeah. Interesting way to finish the championship.
Yeah, with a
The very last
self-block.
game.
Very masochistic.
Well, yeah, it was a good eye for him, that one. But yeah, the hash throws a curve and
Elias is
it's
saying that he needs 4 curves out of the one remaining, and then he could win. Um, like how sometimes card players in the old days would cheat with having an ace up your sleeve,
okay, yeah.
then maybe having
A curve
yeah,
curves in
yeah,
your
curve.
pocket.
Oh, look at this, Laash gaining 6 further points for himself. No, just like eating up this little meeple. Oh, that's just perfect.
Yeah.
11 point,
Yeah.
33 point farmer at the end for him.
Very strong field play by the hash.
Yeah. So if you're not sure how to play against monasteries, this is how. If your opponent gets a monastery cluster, it's not an automatic loss.
Okay, so congratulations Japan for another championship.
Yes.
Congratulations to France for reaching the final and trying to win. So it's the I think it was a very good tournament for them. They should be proud, even if this fight was bitter for them, but overall it's quite okay.
They should be proud, yeah. Especially, I mean, the second place finish. Well, it's first of all, it's like really amazing in this high level competition. Also, it's as a higher finish than any of our teams, Marian, have finished, and
Yes,
so it's
true,
really
true.
really hard to get there. Like a lot of good things have to happen. You have to make a lot of good things to happen to win all these back-to-back playoff matches. Interesting that both teams started with a heavy loss, and Japan started with tournament with a heavy loss. Actually, Japan was close to being out of the group stage,
Yes.
but there they are. And this was very often the case. I think in 2021, Japan lost against United Kingdom in the group stage, and 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 this happened to be their only loss in the tournament, something that the British team is quite proud of
Hmm.
to this day.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the winning game. It's Takuto Traps versus Blitz that gave France their third point. Let me just finally make it official and put the one match point on the scoreboard for France. It wasn't a clean sweep completely. Oh yes, and in addition to their second place, of course, France is earning a second spot for the country at the in-person World Championships, at the individual World Championships in Herne, Germany later this October. It's a question: who do you think is going to be that player? Is that going to be um,
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they already played the national championship this year.
I know that Viv doesn't often play in the nationals, if ever, so maybe that would be
Mm.
a way for him to go to the championship if he's interested. Or, Laash could have the honor as the one player who actually won the game in
Mm.
the finals. Or it could be whoever had the decisive points in the game against the United Kingdom, which secured France that place in the first place, in the third place. So the rules are quite interesting here. Is that each team can select a player amongst themselves in an ethical way, which needs to be reported to the World Championship organizers, but that way is actually quite flexible. It can be either an internal tournament or a vote um, or something else. Thank you for confirming,
Yes.
Edouard, that the French National Championship is in September.
Mm.
Yeah. Elias Machan is saying that Japan is probably going to pick somebody who can just make the trip. Yeah, that's true. That's sometimes an issue for distant countries. Well, Kaimi Chishida made the trip last time. Maybe now we're going to see, I don't know, Kithara or Pyro, or should. It would be nice to actually see Kithara in person for once, but I'm not sure if they're going to stick with their anonymity or not. So yes, congratulations to Japan. And there's one thing left to do to congratulate Japan with their fourth world titles, uh, for the fourth world championship title. All rise for the national anthem of Japan. Congratulations again to Team Japan. This concludes our cycle of streams for the World Championship. Thank you so much for you have been watching, have been following. Make sure to meeple the like button for the algorithm so that more people can find out about the World Team Carcassonne Online Championship in the future. I will be taking a bit of a break and announcing some more casual streams in the coming days. But for now, that is going to be it. Marian, thank you very much for
Thank
joining
you.
and witnessing all the special moments with me.
History in making. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
And that's it. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.
Okay. Bye bye.